I've seen people that come into V2 be confused on how to make a context-sensitive hotkey. So in V1 it was if when active, then you specify the window, for example, Google Chrome, HKexe, Chrome exe, boom. Then you do your hotkey, that does nothing in this situation, and then you close it, quite important, with nothing. It works pretty much the same way, but I've seen people do this, if when active, then that window, and then they do this, which, I mean, I understand the logic is just not how it works, so I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's pretty simple. If when active, if when not active, if when exist, and if when not exist have been removed. Remember the directive if from V1? Well, now it got renamed to hotif, and that's what you use when you want to make a context-sensitive hotkey. You do hotif and then your expression. So hotif when active, once again Google Chrome, HKexe, Chrome exe. Then you do your hotkey. By the way, in V2 they use, how do they call them? I don't remember. Squiggly brackets. Sure, squiggly brackets. And now every one of your hotkeys is actually a function. It has a local scope. That has a lot of implications, most of which are positive. Not even most of them, all of them are positive in terms of programming. So you do your hotkey, whatever, and then you also close it with hotif, and that's how you do it. And you might think, well, I know that if the directive is actually less efficient than if when active, so it's unfortunate that V2 is now less efficient. That's not true, actually. I thought so at first, but then I read the docs and turns out hotif with a single when active is actually optimized to be as fast, if not faster, as if when active. So if you have a single when active like function, then it's just as fast. Don't get riddled. Although once you do two, that optimization is gone. Now it's just an if. So to avoid that, you can create a group. So group add, some group name, some when title, then group add to that as well, another when title, and then you do HK group this. Now it's optimized again. That's one way to do it. But I don't like having statements in the global scope. It's not the best. So what you can do is set title match mode to regex and then use regex. I don't know regex. Well, first of all, learn it. Second of all, it's not as scary for the simple stuff. Say you want this or this or this, which is the case in this situation. So say, well, not HK group anymore. So HK exe Chrome, or let's say Chrome exe or discord.exe. In regex, you escape the comma. That's not the comma, that's the period. You escape the period. you really don't need to. There's pretty much absolutely no reason to do that. So you can just forget about it, truthfully. Because a dot in regex means any character. But I don't see any situation where there would be any other character than the dot if what comes right after it is exe. So I don't see how it would match anything else. And basically, yeah, here you go. That's regex. Now, what if you don't want to always use regex for everything? Because there's no way to turn on regex for this situation. Now that you have set title match mode, everything after that will have to be in regex. Every win title that you specify, you'll have to write in regex. So basically, escape things that you wouldn't need to escape before. I've made a solution for that. Maybe not the best, but I actually quite like it. Now what we have to do now is actually find it. Regex. Okay, here it is. When active regex. So what it does is lets you contain that regex. Since we set title match mode regex inside of a function, it's contained. As soon as the function returns, we're back to the normal set title match mode that you specify in your, like, this section. In V1 it used to be called, let me remember, the auto run section, auto execute section, right? But since now we use squiggly braces, I'm gonna keep calling them that, to define hotkeys. We don't have return anymore. We do, but for different reasons. There is now no need for you to specify return after a hotkey to finish it. Do not do that. Absolutely don't. Return has a place now, but as it should be in functions, when functions return stuff, and in guard clauses, which I surprisingly enough haven't shown off yet. Basically, no returns needed, meaning that your entire script is now the auto execute section. So you can put any of these things at the bottom and they will still get executed because there will be no return randomly in your script. Although I still recommend you have them at the top, because say you include a library that depends on one of these things, and if they are specified later, they might not work. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Depends on whether it's a directive or how it functions overall, so it's the safest to have it at the top, and it makes sense too. Okay. Coming back. Active regex. You specify the same parameters that you do to when active, but now it is actually regex instead of set title match mode 2, for example, which is the default in V2 now. You don't have to set it to 2 like you used to. It's the default. So I don't think I even have it. I don't, because the default makes sense. So you can use this function to use it in a hot if. So we do when active regex, and then we specify once again Google Chrome, all that. but we would use regex. I'm not using regex here, but that's the idea. Okay. I think that's all that I wanted to show off. By the way, these things, these operators that I showed you in the last video, work starting from beta 7, but I would be surprised if you had less than beta 7. Yeah, you likely do. Currently, it's beta 12 now. I use 11 for now, so you'll likely have them working as well. Alright, thank you for watching this video and goodbye.